Gombe government announces tough new security measures, bans scrap metal business. FC Gombe Provost urges residents to embrace new dual mode NCE degree program. APC gains momentum in Gombe as Sardoyan Deba defects from PDP. Welcome to 25 News. I am Patricia Sambo with details of the news. Committed to improving the security situation in the state, the Gombe state government has banned the activities of scrap dealers, popularly known as Bolajari, across the state. The decision was taken at an expanded security meeting held on Monday, chaired by Governor Muhammad Inoyahya. Our correspondent, Shaib Umar, reports.
Briefing newsmen after the expanded security meeting, which involved members of the State Executive Council, heads of security agencies, chairmen of local government councils and traditional rulers, the Attorney General of Gombe State and Commissioner for Justice, Barrister Zubairu Mohammed Umar, said the activities of the Bolajari dealers have been banned indefinitely due to security concerns. According to him, the meeting also approved other far-reaching security measures, which include the mandatory profiling of tenants across the state, noting that the absence of tenant records poses serious security risks.
Government and security agencies would not allow things to be as usual. That every tenant, every person that comes into Gombe State, his profile should be taken. So a template will be prepared by the Ministry of Justice and distributed to all the agents who give out houses or rent and to other people, and as a law that any tenant that comes into a house, the contents of that form or template should be filled satisfactorily.
The meeting, which deliberated on about 7 critical security issues, also reviewed the state overall security architecture following the recent tragic incident in Pindiga, where 2 persons were killed and several community members abducted. Speaking further, the Commissioner of Police Gombe State Command, CP Umar Ahmed Chusu, assured residents of the renewed commitment by security agencies to protect lives and property.
Concerted efforts have been made in collaboration with other sister agencies and also some critical stakeholders, including the hunters and the vigilante. We are on track, and by the grace of the Almighty Allah, we are going to ensure that they are rescued unhurt.
The government warned that the law will take its full course against anyone found culpable, emphasizing Governor Inoyahya's keen interest in the safety and welfare of all citizens. In a related development, the Council has approved a new security framework for the state. Under the arrangement, weekly security meeting will be held jointly by traditional rulers and local government chairmen to regularly assess security development at the grassroots. Briefing newsman, the Emir of Yamaltu, Alhaji Abubakar Aliyu, said the strategy reinforces the principle that security is a collective responsibility, adding that community-based groups such as vigilante and hunters will now play a more structured role in supporting security operations.
Meaning they should be guided by the Commissioner of Police. They are not trained, but once they are working together with the security agencies, I believe they can do the needful.
The Council also addressed the recurring farmer-herder clashes, approving the establishment of an enforcement committee to implement recommendations contained in the white paper on grazing reserves and cattle roads. According to the government, the move is aimed at promoting peaceful coexistence, preventing conflict, and enhancing food security across the state.
As you know, many cattle routes has been encroached into, and even grazing reserves, forest reserves, has been illegally and unlawfully, and they've been deforested. They have been allocated or taken over by some people. So that committee did a very thorough job, and the recommendation of that committee will be enforced by the implementation committee that has been constituted
These new measures, the government says, align with resolution reached at the recent meeting of the Northern Governors and Traditional Rulers, are designed to strengthen community-based security while reassuring residents of government determination to safeguard lives and property in Gombe State. Shaib Umar, GMC News.
The Gombe State Commissioner for Information, Culture and Ethical Orientation, Alhaji Muhammad Mijinyawa Ardo Tulde, has described the recent review of compensation for landowners affected by the construction of the International Games Market and Abattoir as a clear indication that Governor Muhammadu Inuaya is responsive to the concerns of the people. The commissioner stated this while speaking with a railway reporter in his office, noting that the governor's decision reflects his commitment to listening to citizens and addressing their needs.
nake kira da mutane su bayar shi ne goyon baya na bangaren tsaron shi da damu da nuna neman duk wani labari da aka samu wanda ba shi bane kuma ana gani zai iya kawo rashin tsaron lafiya muna son sa muna bukatar sa sannan muna son shawarwari ta yadda
Alhaji Mijinyawa also explained that the state government's payment of examination fees for NAPTEP, NECO and WAEC candidates is aimed at assisting the less privileged students across the state. He said the timely intervention will go a long way in supporting many students who might be unable to complete their secondary education due to financial constraints. The commissioner further called on residents of the state to provide useful and timely information to security agencies, stressing that addressing security challenges is a collective responsibility. Alhaji Mijinyawa Tulde reaffirmed the state government's commitment to policies and programs that promote welfare, education, and security in Gombe State. A community leader in Akko local government, Jairo Musa Lamido Futuk, has appreciated Governor Inuaya for taking bold steps on security issues in the state. Jairo Lamido Futuk, who is also the special assistant on chieftaincy affairs to the Akko local government chairman, Alhaji Alladi Adamu, made the statement while commenting on the recent attack and abduction in Pindiga village. He noted that engaging the heads of security agencies and other stakeholders by the governor to review the security structure of the state is encouraging and commendable. He also commended the Emir of Pindiga, Alhaji Muhammad Sayoji Ahmad, for organizing special prayers for God's intervention and advised district, village and ward heads in the chiefdom to also do same in their areas. Musa Lamido further appreciated the peaceful nature of Gombe State, insisting that its sustainability is a shared responsibility. He called on the people to report suspicious movements around to relevant authorities in good time for prompt action. The Gombe State government has taken another step towards strengthening industrial growth with the validation of its industrial policy for 2026 to 2030. A 3-day workshop held at the Gombe International Hotel brought together key stakeholders to review the policy measures on taxation, incentives, and the business enabling environment. Speaking at the event, the Commissioner of Finance, Muhammad Gambo Magaji, said the policy is designed to promote investment, support enterprise growth, and create jobs across the state. He noted that the adoption of the presumptive tax system under the State Action and Business Enabling Reforms program will simplify tax compliance for small and informal businesses while improving revenue administration. The Commissioner stressed that the stakeholders' input will ensure the policy is realistic, investor-friendly, and capable of driving sustainable economic development.
Improving the ease of doing business. These reforms are aligned with national priorities and global best practices, which also includes the State Action and Business Enabling Reforms, that is the SEPA program.
In his remarks, the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Alhaji Ibrahim Jalo, expressed government's resolve to ensure implementation of the policy in a medium term with a view to achieving the state's 10-year development plan. Also speaking, the chairperson of the Gombe State Internal Revenue, Haji Aisha Adamu, said the policy will boost economic activities of Gombe State.
The moment this is approved by the State Executive Council, the policy is intended to guide in supporting the small and medium-term enterprise.
So while Gombe State is doing this, is also to incorporate, alongside all the infrastructural development that His Excellency Al-Muhammad is doing, to also incorporate other tax incentives so that it will further attract both local and foreign investors to the state.
Responding to questions from newsmen, the consultant and managing director of Onyx, being the policy drafting firm Hajia Aisha Tobacco, said the policy is an inclusive document that targets all business partners and investors, including women and physically challenged people. The workshop is expected to produce a final industrial policy framework that will guide industrial development and boost economic transformation in the state over the next 5 years. The provost of the Federal College of Education, Gombe, Dr. Ali Adamu Boderi, has called on the people of Gombe State to take advantage of the dual mode program recently introduced in the college. Dr. Boderi made the call during a press conference in his office, where he explained that the dual mode program involves the simultaneous running of Nigeria Certificate in Education and degree programs. He said the initiative is aimed at expanding access to higher education and improving the quality of teacher education in the state, and noted that the college has over 100 PhD holders, a capacity he said will ensure the successful implementation of the program.
I'm talking on behalf of the entire College of Education, because we don't want our NCE to die. Now, anybody who has 150, nobody will come for NCE, nobody. Every student wants to pass, want to obtain degree without passing through NCE. But remember, federal government has set up NCE as minimum requirement for teaching in Nigeria. So if you allow our NCE to die, we are going to get the NCE. But we must thank the federal government for allowing us to start the development concurrently. So as it is concurrently NCE on one hand and degree on the other hand.
He added that prospective students can choose the Federal College of Education Gombe as their first choice in both JAMB and direct entry. Added that applicants can visit the college's ICT Center for assistance in selecting the institution as their first choice. The provost disclosed that FCE Gombe is among the 15 colleges of education in Nigeria approved to run the dual mode program. He commended President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for signing into law the bill that enables colleges of education to run degree programs, describing it as a major step towards strengthening the education sector. Dr. Bodori later took journalists on a tour of some facilities in the college. He also condoled journalists in Gombe State over the tragic death of their colleagues in a recent road accident. The Federal Government College Azari Old Students Association Gombe State Chapter is set to hold a reunion meeting aimed at discussing issues of mutual interest and strengthening bonds amongst members. According to the planning committee, the reunion is scheduled for Wednesday, 8 January by 1 p.m. at the Federal College of Education Technical, Gombe. The committee therefore called on all students of the college, residents in Gombe State, to attend the meeting, stressing the importance of unity, collaboration, and active participation in the affairs of the association. The All Progressives Congress (APC) in Gombe State has received a major boost with the defection of Alhaji Abubakar Aliyu, popularly known as Sardauna Deba, from the opposition People's Democratic Party (PDP). He was formally received by the APC State Secretary Abubakar Sadiq Goro, alongside party and local government leaders in Yamotu Deba, Gombe State. House of Assembly member representing Yamotu East Adamu Sale Pata, Hajia Salamut Aliyu Wambai, zonal APC women leader. Party officials described the defection as a milestone and a strategic gain that will strengthen the APC's influence in the Gombe Central Zone, noting that the development reflects the party's growing appeal ahead of future elections. Speaking at the event, Alhaji Abubakar Aliyu, a former governorship and senatorial candidate, said his decision followed wide consultations and was driven by the need for stable governance, unity and development. Cited internal challenges with the PDP and said the APC provides a stronger platform for effective leadership and service delivery. He pledged loyalty to the APC and assured his supporters of his continued commitment to their welfare. Party stakeholders and government officials, including the Commissioner for Health, Dr. Habib Ahiru, were among those in attendance. The executive chairman of the Kulaka government area, Alhaji Adamu Muhammad Waziri, has called on residents of the area to support security agencies in order to strengthen peace and security in the area. A statement by the council's information officer, Kabiru Muhammad Masu, indicates that the chairman made the call during a walima organized by the Special Police Constabulary, Diku branch, to celebrate the promotion of the divisional police officer in charge of Diku division, SP Nura Suleiman, to the rank of chief superintendent of police. Alhaji Waziri urged all security agencies operating in Diku to work in unity and remain committed to safeguarding lives and property. He also advised security personnel to uphold professionalism and avoid corruption in the discharge of their duties. Earlier, in an address of welcome, the coordinator of the Special Police Constabulary in Diku, Abubakar Shabiwa, commended the DPO and other officers for carrying members of the constabulary along and for continuously educating personnel on security responsibilities. Speaking in response to the gesture, CSP Nura Suleiman expressed appreciation to the people of Diku, the chairman of the council and all security agencies for their consistent support and cooperation throughout his service. Also speaking at the event, the Emir of Diku, Alhaji Harun Rashid II, called on residents to embrace prayers for peace and stability. He thanked the organizers of the Walima and commended the DPO for his effective contribution to security in the area. The ceremony featured the presentation of gifts to CSP Nura Suleiman by clubs, associations, and individuals. Muslims have been urged to remain steadfast and turn to Almighty God in all circumstances. The call was made by Sheikh Muhammad Nasir Albani during a sermon at the monthly preaching session of the Izala Islamic Organization held at the Kushi area affiliate in Shangom local government area. The cleric attributed many misfortunes in society to lack of fear of God. In a related sermon on ideology, Sheikh Muhammad bin Uthman said adherence to the teachings of the Holy Quran and the traditions of Prophet Muhammad, peace be unto him, remains one of the key attributes of true men of God. Speaking after the preaching, the Gombe State Chairman of the Izala Islamic Organization, Engineer Salisu Muhammad Gombe, who is also the Sultana of Taliawa, disclosed that 12 scholars were earlier deployed to various mosques across the area ahead of the monthly program. He appealed to wealthy individuals to support the completion of the Kushi Mosque and expressed appreciation to those who contributed to the success of the event, particularly the chairperson of Shongon local government area, Haji Fatima Binta Bello, and members of the organization. Engineer Salis also called on people in the state to uphold good character and moral conduct. To end the news, here's a recap of the headlines. You heard that the Gombe State government has unveiled a set of far-reaching security measures following an expanded State Security Council meeting chaired by Governor Muhammadu Inuwa Yahaya. The decisions announced by the Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Barrister Zubair Muhammad Umar, are in response to emerging security threats and recent incidents across the state. We also brought to you that the Provost of the Federal College of Education, FCE Gombe, Dr. Ali Adamu Bojori, has called on the people of Gombe State to take advantage of the newly introduced dual mode program at the college. Speaking during a press conference, Dr. Bodori explained that the program allows the institution to run Nigeria Certificate in Education (NCE) and degree programs simultaneously, a move aimed at expanding access to higher education and strengthening teacher education. And finally, the All Progressive Congress (APC) in Gombe State has recorded a major political boost following the defection of Alhaji Abubakar Aliyu, popularly known as Sardauna Deba, from the People's Democratic Party. Alhaji Abubakar Aliyu was formally received by the APC State Secretary Abubakar Sadiq Goro alongside party leaders, local government officials, the Gombe State Assembly member representing Yamoto East, Adamu Sale Pata, and the APC zonal women leader, Hajia Salamatu Aliyu Wambai. That's the news at noon. Thank you for listening. Stand by for the House version of the news.